Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special edition of tonight's Sideline Junkies. We've got a special announcement, so you see some new faces on the screen. We'll get to that. First and foremost, let's go with my man up top. You know him as the big guy KG. Below in one of the boxes is the boss man BJ. Then we got two special guests. I mean, the man's name says it underneath his name. Man from Clear Productions TV and Radio Network. He is the big dog himself, Hill. And then over here, the man that helped me get some of this stuff started on the internet and doing sports talk. It's my man Lee Ice. What's up, fellas? What's up, everybody?
What's going on? What's going on?
You guys in here, it's cathartic because I'm hurt right now. Just
hey man, I gotten over it. I went into my bathroom, shed my tears. Now I'm good.
I can't do it.
I heard a comment today about the Commanders. It made very good sense. They said, yeah, he's doing this, getting rid of Chase Young and Montez Sweat, but what has the New Jersey Devils done? What have the Philadelphia 76ers done lately? So
it's a good damn question.
Yeah.
Who you listen to, Howard Eskin?
No, it was somebody on NFL Network that said that.
Oh, all right. Because Eskin got a bone to pick with him for some reason. He been dogging him the whole time.
Yeah, I thought he was. I still think he was the wrong owner for them. I think they should have still somehow, some way got my man, from Amazon. So
I don't think he wanted it, man.
That one.
Okay.
Midnight Rider?
KG, set us up. Come on.
All right. Oh, okay. I mean, I thought you was taking over tonight. I was giving you the duties because I'm distraught right now. Only reason why I'm crying is my adrenaline is pumping. But it's Tuesday, so we got Joe the Fan. Instead of Joe the Fan, we have Joe the Fans with none other than the big man himself, Hill, the great Lee Ice. Gentlemen, we like to start this off hot and heavy and quickly. To both of you gentlemen, I'll start off with Lee Ice and then we'll go to Hill. What's the one moment that made you a sports fan?
Well, football or NBA?
Either or. It's that one.
Yeah, I got you. The one moment that stands out for me that I can remember clearly is I heard all the stuff about Dr. J. So I finally get to see Dr. J perform on TV, Channel 9 CBS. And I see this guy with this big ass afro. He's doing finger rolls, jumping out the building, got the Converse hook stars, just dunking on people. I'm like, that's my guy right there. But I was born into a Redskin family. So I had Redskin lunch boxes, bed sheets, curtains, you name it, I had it. So
you ready for me to answer the question now?
Go ahead, Hill.
What you want?
Yes, sir.
It was several things. From being small. First thing probably was Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was like a fixture in my household growing up. Couldn't talk bad about him. Then living down the street from Sugar Ray when he was coming up before he got in the Olympics, and intertwining with him when I was smaller. Probably seeing the Redskins playing in the Super Bowl VII, and the year before seeing the Cowboys play the Dolphins in the Super Bowl, figuring out what football really was. And like Lee Ice said, Dr. J in the ABA with the red, white, and blue ball. I didn't care about the NBA. I didn't care about the Bullets. Dr. J and the New York Nets and those red, white, and blue uniforms with the stars down on the left-hand side. really attracted me. And then baseball, the Big Red Machine and the Yankees and the Dodgers really got me, and Roberto Clemente, they really got me into it, and Vida Blue from the Oakland A's.
You just said
I
something
have
that
to
made my
agree.
ears perk up.
What's that?
I gotta agree with the big dog, Muhammad Ali too. I mean, that was like my dad, just Ali. You know what I'm saying? I can still remember people calling him Clay. You know,
Right.
I don't know how old I was, but I can remember people calling him Clay. So
My father
Muhammad
was a
Ali,
good
yeah,
friend
he got.
My father was a good friend of Vida Blues, so they knew each other back in their younger days, and I got to actually talk to him on the phone once or twice when I was younger.
You said something to make my ears perk up. You said you grew up around Sugar Ray. So you from around Palmer Park?
I lived in Belhaven. If you know what Belhaven is, Belhaven's not Belhaven. It's called something else. So you remember how long that was? We moved from Northeast DC. We moved to Belhaven, stayed there a year or two. Then we moved to Glen Arden and stayed there for 4 years. When Glen Arden only had the Amoco station and that little health clinic across the street, and the government building wasn't even built yet when we moved to Glen Arden. They were in progress of building it. So that should tell you how long that's been.
Good grief, man. I
and the 7-Eleven, the 7-Eleven was in the back, so not where it is now.
Small world, man. I probably could name some names, and you probably like, yeah, I know them. It's all you, Midnight Rider.
All right, so I got two separate questions because they fit the people because I know them a little bit. So Lee Ice, like, tell us about your journey getting to doing sports talk and all that. Because didn't you have like a radio stint at one point?
Yeah, you know, this actually started. I was 19. I don't know if y'all old enough to remember. I know the big dog is. They had the Columbia School of Broadcasting. So I went there, and they kept trying to get me to be a nighttime DJ. I was like, I want to be, get into sport broadcasting. Long story short, I graduated, got my SEC license. But back then, they didn't have podcasts, and, ESPN was still big, but, they just didn't have so many outlets that you can go to. So fast forward to 2018, a friend of mine, he wanted to start a radio show. And he asked me to be on. He said, I want you to do the sports. I said, okay, that's cool. We can do that. And, we bounced around from station to station, and it never really worked out because, as you know, Midnight Rider, the guy that I was doing it with, he was there. So right. Long story short, we didn't get along. I mean, we parted ways. Another guy that I went to school with named Rico said he knew a guy who was looking for a sports show. So called him up right away. That guy was Hill. He talked. He asked me. I said, man, I think I got something to offer. He said, okay, set up a meeting. We met at Panera Bread, right here.
Yep, Panera Bread and Laurel.
Hill, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Panera Bread and Laurel. We talked, and then I was like, you know what, man? I can't do this without one person. I gotta do it, with this guy named Ben. I gotta do it with my man Ben, better known as the Midnight Rider. Called him up. We met, at the dude's Rico house. And then, we had our first show. Hill said people loved it, except for Pretty Ricky, which was good because Pretty Ricky didn't want to do it no more. And then it was just me and you, BC, Midnight Rider, and here we are today.
So Hill, you're trying to do something that, let me say it this way. You do a podcast, you have a podcast network, you have a radio network, you're kind of a media mogul when it comes to podcasting and radio. What is your vision with Clear Productions? Because I know you're about to launch something. So tell us about the launch and then go right into just what you've been trying to do and been trying to build?
Well, we're about to launch. Tomorrow is the launch of Clear Productions Sports and XO7 Television. Following that, in 2 weeks, around I think the November the 10th or 11th, Clear Productions TV Radio Network will have a standalone on Roku TV. So those are 3 major launches coming up. And then we have some other things I'm working on that could be happening before the end of the year. Maybe possibly another network we'll be jumping on. First, I give thanks to God for everything, because I didn't never expect this. I didn't never expect to have Clear Productions TV Radio Network. It was something that was blessed to me and given to me. I give a lot of credit to Brian Brown, Rip Radio, because those guys really gave me a taste early. But I took it after giving me my taste. I drunk it, so I took it and ran with it and made it what it is today. You said mobile media, mega, whatever you call me, in this area. I really don't toot my horn, but I am the best in this area. Hands down, there's nobody close to me. If you don't count the 5 in-house networks that I have, then the other 6 outside the regular TV networks that we're part of, then you tell me somebody else is doing the same thing in the area, or even give me a 500-mile radius.
Agreed. That's why I said mobile.
So, what's the future for Clear Productions? I don't know. I take it day by day. I see what's out there. I try to search a landscape much as I can to see what's going on, see what's hot, see what we can do next. It's whatever, man. Whatever I feel like we can do. We're small, very small when it comes to everybody else. We do a lot of the big boy things, but we're very small. We work with a very minute budget, but I try to use a lot of my connections that I have had in the past, doing good business deals, and try to keep those relationships. So that opens a lot of doors for us. So.
I can
say go ahead, boss man.
I can say this 3.5 years ago when we first met.
It's 4.5 years. 4.5, Lee Ice. We're going on 5 years. I saw the thing popped up on Facebook with you, Ben, and Pretty Ricky. It's 5 years.
Is it?
It's 5 years. Nah, bro. It's going on 5 years.
But you did promise me. You said that if I gave you the chance, you would take us places or take me places, and I got to give you a pat on the back for that. Today I took my hat to you. Super Bowls, Canadian trips, and it's just getting more and more is coming. So each year, all in sports and all in football is just getting bigger and bigger. CW network shows, Arlington. So you came through on your promise, big dog.
Yeah, like I told y'all when I first got y'all, I told all the shows this. I said, I said, one of y'all going to make it. I don't know who's going to make it, but somebody in this room is going to make it. And you look back 5, 7 years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago, how long we've been in business now, but we've had 6 shows to make it now, to make it to regular TV. So we're doing something right. I don't know what we're doing right. We're doing something right. The other thing I told y'all, we were going to travel. We travel. Ben, you've been a part of the travel. Lee Ice, now you've been part of the travel. And the travel will continue as long as I got breath in my body and I can keep working like I'm working now and putting money back into the company. There's some other.
No, I was trying to get Boss Man in. See if he had a question.
Nah, y'all pretty much asked what I don't have anything else.
Okay.
We were. There were some other things I'm working on that I can say. Before the pandemic happened, we were 3 weeks out having an office in Atlanta. That fell through, but now I've been in talks for about 4 months with my oldest son and somebody else out on the West Coast about running a Clear Production West Coast. So that could happen. It's just where, when is it going to be? Vegas? Is it going to be LA? Is it going to be San Diego? Would it be Phoenix? Would it be San Francisco or San Jose? So we haven't picked a spot that we think we should do, but we're leaning more towards Vegas and LA, because those are more of the heartbeat. So that could happen probably next year, having a Clear Productions West Coast, and who knows from there.
All right, so guys, I heard a lot of Dr. J. I heard a lot of Muhammad Ali. Let's bring it current. Like, is there a current player that's like on your list that's one of your guys or one of your favorites? And it doesn't matter the sport. Go ahead, Leon.
Y'all, Big Dog and BC, y'all know my man Steph Curry. Steph has become one of my favorite athletes of all time. You know, up there with Doc and Muhammad Ali. Football, my favorite football player of all time, believe it or not, is not even an old Redskin. My favorite football player of all time is Randall Cunningham. When I first saw Randall, I mean, we all like quarterbacks, but when I first saw Randall, I was like, wait a minute. Oh, this guy black. Oh, he got a strong arms, and he's got moves as like a running back. Never seen nothing like that. So, but right now, my current favorite player in the sports is definitely Steph Curry.
Big Dog.
I don't have a current. I mean, I like all sports. I'll probably say more franchises than anything. I've always been marveled how the Yankees do what they do. You know what I'm saying? I had some dudes that probably recently retired, probably in the last 15, 20 years. One, Lawrence Taylor's always been my all-time favorite football player. Always. Even when I was playing, I always tried. I wanted to be the next LT. You know what I'm saying? The other one, your other show will relate to this one, Ric Flair. I always, when I first saw Ric Flair in 1982 on TBS, I'm like, who is this dude here? Talking all this stuff, dressing, the Rolex, the jewelry, the women, the cars. I said, man, for a white dude, he showing up is black all day. So Ric Flair has always been one of them.
Nah, you know what? I can't let you go without me asking you about this.
Who, me?
Hill.
Yeah.
You had a tryout for baseball with who?
The Philadelphia Phillies.
And who was at that camp when you was at that tryout?
So when I got down there, it was basically the rookies, the catchers, and the pitchers. And I was there for 3 days. I was doing my thing. I thought I could probably make rumors were floating around that I would probably be up on the big league team opening day. So the third day, my third day there, I saw Pete Rose. I'm like, who in that? No, this is impossible. Then I saw Mike Schmidt. Then I saw Ted McGraw. Then I saw Steve Carlton warming up. Then I saw Greg Maddux. Matthew, the big, tall, black guy in the world, 31. I was like, man, are you serious? I couldn't hit nothing or catch nothing after that. I was actually supposed to be what's the name's backup catcher, and I was like, I couldn't do it. I was starstruck. At 18, 19 years old, I was starstruck. It was like I'm just seeing these dudes play in the World Series just like a year or two ago. You know? I said, nah. Then I know, like maybe about 2 or 3 years later, the Orioles hit me up. The team out in Frederick wanted me to come try, but I told them no. The Day Sox, when they first got the Bowie, they sent me a letter. I told them no, I was done. So I did. I also played semi-pro football. I played against. I don't know if you remember Tony Galbraith. He used to play for the New Orleans Saints. He used to be the fullback in front of Chuck Muncie. It was him and Archie Manning, Wes Chandler, and all them. He was on that team, starting team. Who else was on that? Gene Fugit from the old Redskins. He played a year or two there. So I played against them in semi-pro. So
Gene Fugit, man, he was one of the most underrated tight ends. If you look at his reception and his yardage and the touchdowns, he's probably the most productive tight end there is.
So, yeah.
See, Lee,
Let me say this: nothing supersedes my love for the burgundy and gold. Okay, nothing. No one athlete, no other team. It's the burgundy and gold all the way up here. You know,
Lee Ice, you said something. Now, I gotta say it because if I wouldn't be me if I didn't. You said something about Steph Curry. And I'm about to start an argument. Is Steph Curry a better shooter than Larry Bird?
damn. Is he a better shooter? Yes. Is he a better player? Hell no. He's a better
shooter than Larry Bird. Thank you
Come
all
on,
for coming
man.
out tonight. I am done.
How is he not a better? I mean, we don't know because Bird wasn't pulling up from what Steph does. Nobody, come on, KG. Nobody shoots. Did you see him last night? Did you see him the other night? Nobody was doing that. The closest person maybe was like me and the big dog, Chris Jackson, but you know, they kind of like put a limit on what he was doing back then. But right.
Yeah.
But you got. I would have said World Be Free, because the 3-point line was instituted in the NBA because of World Be Free, because where he was as distant he was shooting in the 70s. That's why they instituted it in '82.
And see, now that's 3 years of Bird not being able to shoot threes too. So
right.
But
no, Bird, rookie year, the 3-point line was in there.
No, it wasn't. It didn't come to '82.
No, it came in '79.
82.
Anybody want to bet?
I ain't betting.
1979, Chris Ford. Chris Ford made the first 3-pointer.
That Chris Ford wasn't in the league in '79.
Chris Ford made the first 3-pointer in NBA history, 1979. Check it.
Let's see. They're checking it. I see him looking down. Everybody looking down.
Yeah,
1979, 80.
79. Yep.
Chris
Okay.
Ford, a member of the Boston Celtics, knocks down the first 3-point field goal in NBA history.
Okay. He got me on that one.
Yeah.
Rare. It's rare that Lee Ice is right. If you watch the All In Football show, he's not right often. So
Hey, man, I had a 6-game winning streak on a Stone Cold Lock and Key.
that's okay. I've been right every week though with my predictions. The major predictions I've been right every week. My Super Bowl prediction is looking greater and greater every week. Still.
Mine don't even look good. I ain't even gonna say that because Buffalo body and streaky. And then Philly. I gotta look at the book. Did I pick Philly? I forget who I picked in the NFC. No. Actually, I
We
picked
didn't
the
let you
Commanders.
find out. Don't do this because this is gonna end up right up there next to your 9-game league last year in the Pick'em League. Don't even start this.
Who did you say you picked in the NFC?
I picked Washington in NFC to play Buffalo.
My gosh. No, you didn't. I
No,
said, I told Lee Ice on our show in Toronto, I said, Washington will be happy if they win 7 games this year. 8 max.
Yeah.
That's all right. We about to go on a 6-7. We about to hit a 5.
It's not gonna happen. Y'all gonna get we gonna get the number one. I'm a Washington
Right
fan,
here, y'all.
but I'm a
On the
realist.
sideline junkies. Our Commanders is about to go on a 5-game winning streak.
Starting when? The week after next? Because they're losing Sunday.
Nah, that's going to be the easiest game. That one and the
They losing
Giants.
Sunday. They
No.
losing Sunday. Patriots gonna beat them. I told you by 10.
Mm-mm. Dude,
Belichick got something. Belichick got something for you.
oh, don't get me started on him.
Hey KG, let's go ahead and roll into the first topic.
Well, we got the week 8 recap, and we covered 7 games actually. Hey, that's the work phone. We covered 7 games actually to go with the week, and a few of them didn't turn out too good for us. God, come on. Of course, nothing wants to work tonight. Nothing wants to work. Only thing that wants to work is me. Did y'all watch the Monday night game? The Raiders and the Lions.
No.
Yeah, that was a bad game.
Yeah, and I are the Lions. Let me ask you this before we get into this: are the Lions fluke?
No.
No.
I had them in my NFC Championship game.
Okay, you did.
That's who I got my NFC Championship game.
Yeah,
Playing Philadelphia.
we got the same thing. Look, man, I told you when the season started, I told you about this kid, Jahmyr Gibbs, and finally they've started to take the training wheels off of him, and they started to let him loose. And then the kid Laporta that they got from Iowa, the tight end, is just showing you that tight end you might be Iowa with Kittles and company, and ended up with him now. So they came out. It was an ugly game. They should have probably had 30 or 40, but they just comped out in the red zone. That's what their problem was.
I mean, we all agree they definitely gonna win their division, right? I mean, that's a wrap.
That's a four.
Oh, well, that's definitely a wrap.
Once Kirk's Achilles pop,
how many games they're gonna win? Could they secure the home field throughout the NFC? You know,
They could if Philadelphia stumbles in the next couple of weeks.
do they play Philadelphia this year? Do Detroit play Philadelphia?
No. They play the Cowboys. They play Cowboys in 4 weeks. They play the Thursday after Thanksgiving. The Cowboys.
That's gonna be a test.
Where they playing?
Kansas City already met their test. I mean, Detroit already met their test when they played Kansas City.
I mean, they did. They surprised me winning that game, being
They
good.
surprised me.
You know, I picked them last year.
Big Dog predicted that game
before anybody, huh?
Big Dog predicted that game. He said Detroit's going to use like, "No, you out of your mind, out of your mind." Be glad I can rewind the tape.
First game we covered was Jags versus Pittsburgh. Jags beat the Steelers 20-10. A lot of people were complaining about officiating this weekend. I think officiating was terrible this weekend, and in this Jaguar Steelers game, it was pretty terrible. Any thoughts on that game, gentlemen?
I got one thing to say, and I wish the NFL would adopt the same thing that the CFL got. The CFL, they have this thing, there's 2 challenges per half. One's for instant replay and one's for penalties. You actually get challenge pass interference, I think unnecessary roughness and personal foul penalties. Those are 3 penalties you can challenge. It don't even have to be a penalty on the play. You can challenge it. So I think the NFL needs to adapt that rule too, just like the Canadian football.
If you remember, it's either 2 to 4 years ago, they had a thing where you could challenge pass interference, but the problem was the rule was too convoluted, and you end up creating more controversy than solving problems. So that's why they abandoned that.
They may maybe go back to it because I mean, some of the pass interference calls not even pass interference. So.
I think these refs are just calling what they think they see and not what they see. Like, I think you got to start getting younger referees or officials so they can keep up with the pace of the game. I mean, you got the old guy falling and stumbling. I mean, some of these guys are just too old to keep up with the pace.
Or go to the AFF rule when they had the sky judge. Like the Big Ten does. The Big Ten has a sky judge too. That somebody actually watch the game, it can buzz down and change the call or influence a call. They got New York already watching the game, so why don't New York just do it?
Yeah,
because they're trying to take the.
I never
Go
understood
ahead.
that. If New York is watching it, you would think that the errors would be cut down, but then you got Midnight Rider just said something. You had these older referees, and they have their favorites too. So that's playing a part in it also. Are these blunders and these missed calls and these calls that shouldn't be calls?
When you say they have their favorites, are you talking teams or?
I'm talking about players, coaches. They have just like NBA.
I'm still
They
here,
have their.
fellas. I'm just having a little technical difficulties. I'm coming through.
All right, stay with us. No, I'm just talking about as a whole. Coaches, players. We know that Mahomes gets more calls than Derek Carr, whatever. They're not going to get the same whistles. Defensive coordinators. It seems like certain defenses get away with certain things. Certain teams get penalized more. Get some ghost and phantom calls. So I don't know how you would eliminate that. I mean,
No, it's always been like that.
and that's part of the problem is just like in the Commanders game, that whole situation where that the Eagles basically had time to look over a play, and I think they influenced that call a little bit. I'm talking about the one that was ruled a catch that all of a sudden wasn't a catch, and that whole sequence was just
because if it would stay a catch, then I know exactly what you're talking about. It was a catch, and then one of the Eagles players was hurt, and so while he was hurt during the timeout, they made it not a catch. So then when they replayed it, if they didn't find enough evidence to reverse the call, which they didn't, it has to stand. Mm-hmm. Which I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I haven't either. And I thought once it got ruled on the field as a catch, the replay would have had to have proof that it would have been not a catch. And I don't think they had that evidence. And so that's the type of things I'm talking about. And then I don't know. That whole Darius Slay fake hurt thing, that we'll get into that later, but that's a whole different topic.
What was the next game on the slate, BJ?
KG got the list. KG, you still there with us?
Hold on, I sent it to you.
Okay.
Next game up was Seattle and Cleveland. Best Seattle won 24-20.
Best game of the day.
I didn't get a chance to watch that, but I listened to Cleveland radio, and they felt like they let that game go late in the ball game. I guess there was a 3rd and 3 or a 3rd and short, and they ended up passing on that 3rd and short and didn't get it. And then Seattle in turn goes down the field and scores to win the ball game. So I thought it was going to be a competitive game because I thought both teams are about the same. And it's just interesting watching Cleveland actually be productive with a 3rd-string quarterback.
Yeah. Who's backing him up now? Because he just he makes
Deshaun Watson.
So it's PJ Walker, and then you got DTR.
Deshaun Watson, and I think Deshaun's backing him up just in case. They're just resting him right now.
He's the
franchise quarterback.
Yeah, and this problem is he got that shoulder, that AC joint is no joke. Because you get hit in the wrong spot on hit on the wrong, you lose strength in the shoulder. So I can understand his absence.
Mm-hmm. PJ Walker, he's definitely not the answer.
He's doing all right for them right now. I mean, he's went 2-1 with them. So I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, I think you're just hoping that their defense can get them through the game and he can just manage the game. Like I said, I'm kind of impressed with what he's done, man. I mean, I was expecting him to come in and it'd be a major drop off. I mean, he's not Deshaun, but he's like kind of holding his own, man. He, kind of holding his own. I like that. I like him.
Yeah, and
he's great for XFL quarterback.
Yeah. And I was going to agree with this cat.
Houston Roughnecks.
This cat he's pretty good, but I mean he's not great, but he's good. Next up is Cincinnati versus the 49ers. Cincinnati wins 31-17 over the 49ers. 49ers lose their third in a row. I feel vindicated because I said 3 weeks ago that the 49ers are good, but they haven't arrived yet. And they just prove my point every week. Everybody, like Keith Francis was like, you got to think about the injuries. Every team deals with injuries. It's how you deal with adversity that makes you a great team. And they're not dealing with adversity very well.
They're still going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that 100%. All the good times. Kansas City lost to the Broncos. It's just you're gonna have your weeks where you come out flat. You know, Purdy done had his injuries. You know, they missing Debo. So, you know, if you bring out a 49er squad at 100%, I think they win that game. But injuries are, like you said, big guy, injuries are part of the game. And luckily for everybody, it's the middle of the season and you kind of can work out the kinks. But I think the 49ers are gonna be fine. Just fine. Especially with the artillery coming over there now.
Yeah. That's my Super Bowl pick, 49ers. So
I think the 49ers need secondary help more so than the front seven. Their front seven's fine. They didn't need Chase Young. They needed to go out and get a good corner, a solid corner. They got exposed the week before. Who did they play the week before and they got exposed? Cleveland really exposed them. When they went to Cleveland and they tried to bully Cleveland around and Cleveland bullied them back, but they exposed the guy from Dallas exposed them. Plays with Cleveland. What's his name? The wide receiver?
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper and the guy Peoples really exposed them, showing them they can't cover when they come on the blitzes and stuff like that. Their corners is trash, man. They should have went and got a corner instead of Chase Young. Your front seven was already lethal. You can put all the pressure in the world. If you don't get home, you can get burned. Especially when you play a team like Philadelphia and Detroit is loaded at wide receiver. And Seattle.
The Vikings had
378. I'm sorry, go ahead, B.
No, I was saying the Vikings had 378 passing on the 49ers.
Right.
Yeah.
Without Jefferson.
Without Jefferson.
So their secondary is pretty trashy, bro. And you went and got Chase Young. I don't understand that.
But
we'll get to that.
The way the 49ers have played for the last 3 weeks is why I say they haven't arrived yet. You say every team, Kansas City came out flat. But the 49ers have came out flat 3 weeks in a row. You have to learn. It's the same mentality that has always been in sports. Next man up. When your number's called, you got to be the next man up. You got to go out there and you got to put on the show. You got to do your thing. I don't care if you're not Debo. You don't have to be Debo. Be you. But you got to do something to help this team win. And it seems like these guys are not helping them win. And the mystique of Purdy it's no longer. Now everybody's saying, well, he's not elite. And I never considered him elite. He was just a good quarterback. You got to give him a chance. But right now, they're not working. They're not clicking.
They were a rookie field goal kicker missed from being 6-0. Okay, let's not overlook that. They would have been 6-0 if this guy makes a 40-yard field goal. So,
all right. Yeah, and another thing is the last week's Purdy, for some reason, they just don't mind if this kid is concussed and if he hasn't recovered from his concussion. He got blown up on a quarterback sneak, and then after that quarterback sneak, he was done. And then they played him this week. He got available on a short week. This doesn't make sense to me how this league handles player security, player safety. They talk about how much is important, but they don't show it in their actions.
Big guy, I could disagree about the 49ers coming out flat. Against Cleveland, they came out very aggressive. They started a fight before the game started. They just got smacked in the mouth by Myles Garrett and them. Now, against Minnesota, they thought they could take advantage of Minnesota because Jefferson wasn't there, but everybody else showed up that night. And Kirk Cousins had one of the best games in his career. This weekend, Cincinnati's on a team on fire. They're on a roll. Everybody's back now. You just ran into a buzzsaw in Cincinnati. I don't think they came up flat in none of those games. They had chances to win, and they just didn't win. You can say Purdy, but I still going to point back to their secondary. If you take each game, they got exposed. Their secondary got exposed. It's as simple as that.
And I think they're hoping that front can hold off that bad secondary. And if you got somebody like TJ Watt sitting there, yeah, you can hide it for a little bit, but it's always going to be a team that is going to expose you. If you got a weak link on that secondary somewhere, then you're going to get exposed. It just is what it is. You're going to run into a coach that game plan and can like, I got you. We see what we see, and just like the Commanders, like this past week against the Eagles, they saw something, and Sam Howell came out there throwing that rock around.
Philadelphia secondary is trash.
Yeah,
everybody knows that.
And they got them, and a couple of mistakes here and there kept them from winning. But yeah, it's a bad secondary would get exposed, and I think a lot of these teams are learning that you can have these hot starts, but then you figure out who these teams are, and about midway through the season, the teams that were struggling start getting it together, and that snowball start going, and you're gonna see Cincinnati climb back up the ladder.
Cincinnati's one of them, and there's certain teams that are real quiet right now, like Jacksonville, 5 in a row. Ain't nobody said nothing about Jacksonville.
Nothing.
Everybody healthy, they rolling right along. Defense was ferocious. Another team, Seattle. Ain't nobody talking about Seattle. Seattle's in first place. Quiet. Best back 7 in the NFL probably right now. This linebackers and secondary is probably the best in the NFL.
Yep.
Ain't nobody said nothing about the Jets. Everybody forgot about the Jets after Aaron Rodgers got hurt, but it's in the last wild card spot now.
I ain't forgot about the Jets. Not at
all. Probably the best defense whole.
Yeah, I said that last
as a whole. They probably got the best defense as a whole.
The Williams brothers, nasty.
I'm gonna tell you right now, and I totally iced this. I told them on our show, on our predictions, who got it. What we call it? Who got you? Whatever we call it. Anyway, I said who you got. Miami's gonna expose Kansas City for real this weekend, this Sunday morning. Believe that, because that speed's gonna show you how trashy they really are. They're back 7.
Well, you guys.
Right. So who's the best team in the NFL right now? Then.
Unfortunately, the Eagles.
They probably have to say the Eagles right now.
Right now.
But there's some jokers nipping on their heels though. Detroit, Seattle, Jacksonville, Kansas City still there. Miami.
Yep. Yeah, I think
Baltimore.
It got to be
Baltimore is probably the second best team in the league right now.
Baltimore, yeah,
Baltimore
quiet right now too.
Right, they quiet too. If they'd have pulled out that trade today and got Henry, Super Bowl.
Yeah. I think if Baltimore can just get it where they can be consistent and come out and do what they did against Detroit, they have it, but it's just like they can't put the puzzle together. They put a piece here, a piece there, and then when they put it together, they have that 40-point explosion. And then you got to watch them struggle. You got to watch OBJ throw his helmet on the sideline. They just got to, but they got time. Everybody got time to kind of piece it together. They got to figure it out, though. Because, they're going to be in the dogfight with Cincinnati. And then the crazy thing is, as bad as Pittsburgh offense is, we talked about it on the show Sunday.
They're right there.
They're right there because of that boy TJ Watt. He would take over a game quickly. And as long as you got him, they're going to stay right there in the mix because they're just I think they're coached well. A lot of people I've heard now that think Mike Tomlin isn't a really good coach, but I think they're coached well. That's why they are where they are.
I agree, definitely 100%. I think TJ Watt and Myles Garrett are keeping Cleveland and Pittsburgh in the race.
Just like Sunday with the Commanders. Hassan Reddick did what everybody has been waiting for that Washington defensive line to do. he closed the game out. He closed the game out. Whoever 71 was, I call their numbers because their names don't deserve to be spoke. But 71 got absolutely destroyed. Hassan Reddick said this game over, and he went in and took it, and that was a wrap. And that's what you're waiting for these. Myles Garrett can do it. T.J. Watt can do it. You got to be the closer. Wait to see if Von Miller can get it back. He's been quiet since he's been back. He got to get in game shape. But, when you have somebody like that on that defensive line, they can close that thing out, man. Ball game.
I've always said Washington's defense was overhyped because they never proved nothing to me. Chase Young, he's had one good season. That was his rookie season. Sweat was the best. My opinion, Sweat was the most consistent. Then Payne. Allen can't get off his blocks. I've been watching WSU. Like, this dude can't get off his block. Their linebackers is mediocre at best. Davis has improved a little bit. Their secondary is trash. Curl's the only thing decent back there. Their secondary might be the worst in the NFL. I mean, their secondary. I look at this and I'm like,
Let me ask you this. How much of that goes on the shoulder of Jack Del Rio? Because I feel like that those four, while they were together, that defensive line didn't get used correctly. You got Emmanuel Forbes out here. It to me, it looks like it's just a lot. I think some of it is coaching, not taking advantage of what your players can do, what their strengths are, instead of being the guy that coach said, "Oh, you're going to do it my way. We're going to run this. This is how we're going to run it. I don't care what your specialty is or what I can have you do that will make you pop." I think that's a lot of the problem with Washington now. And I think for Jack Del Rio job for 2 years.
All right, now for Jack Del Rio, let me say about Jack Del Rio. My problem with Jack Del Rio is watching them all the time is he's not a very good situation coach. He's a good coach defensively. They run the right scheme. It's like certain situations, like in Philadelphia. It was during the course of the game. I was watching. I said, all right, it's second down, and I think it was like 14 or something like that. You play soft. Why you play soft? And you play soft too many times at the wrong time, and you get aggressive at the wrong time. My thing with the four they had was Allen was overhyped. He was great at Alabama, but he really hadn't done nothing here. He's not a run stopper because they run up on him all day. Payne's inconsistent. He'll get your play here, then you won't see him again for another 5-6 plays. Sweat, he's probably the most consistent one. Chase Young, you never see him during the game. He might give you one sack, one good play a game. And that's been his whole career since he's been here, since his rookie year. Now, Jack Del Rio, like I said, the only thing I have a problem, he plays soft too many times at the wrong times. Like they played soft, they were up 17-10. They came out playing soft in the second half. I've been going after Jalen Hurts' head now because he's already proven to you he's not running. He's not running. So now you need to come after because something's wrong with him. He didn't come after him. That's when they went right down the field and scored. I said, the game over right now. So,
guys, I got to get out of here, but I'm going to drop a bombshell. I want to know, we did this for Bradley Beal. When he got traded, it's like, what's his moment in D.C.? What stands out? What's Chase Young's Commanders? What's his moment that stands out where you like, that's the play I'm going to remember as a Commanders fan for the rest of my life? Does he have?
I got one. Yeah, he do. He do.
Yeah, he do. Probably all got the same one.
When Taylor Heinicke scored that touchdown, he said he pointed at Taylor Heinicke's back in his jersey. That's the play. That's the only play I remember him by.
Oh Lord!
San Francisco against San Francisco, picked the ball up one hand. He runs it to the end zone. You can't say that didn't remind you of Sean Taylor against the Eagles.
No.
Night Rider?
Hell no.
I had the same San Francisco play. I thought that was just a tremendous play for him. But if I got to pick my own, I'll take the play that I think he hurts Joe Burrow in this play. Where he's on the other side of the field. He comes across the field.
Yeah, that's when he tore Joe Burrow's knee up.
Yeah, he nails Joe Burrow right before he tries to get in the end zone.
I
I
remember.
think that's
Yep,
what I remember.
Agreed.
I remember.
That's the play I was going to go with, the play against the Bengals. Now,
Okay.
for Montez Sweat, it was the whole game against the Cowboys. I think that was Thanksgiving. We wore the black jersey.
Yep,
And
that whole game against Cowboys. Yeah, and that game and the Pittsburgh Steelers game they played on that Wednesday afternoon when they were doing the COVID game. He dominated that game against Ben, and Pittsburgh was undefeated against Ben Roethlisberger and them. He
Yes.
dominated that game.
And we exposed them. We exposed Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh, I think, where did they go? They went like
They
4-12.
They lost like 4 more after that.
Yeah, we exposed them for what they were, frauds.
Yeah.
Now, we talking about Chase Young and Montez Sweat being gone out of town. You go from, and I was tired of the tagline of, oh, you got 4 first-round picks, and you should do this, and the 4 vaulted first round. Now you can't say that anymore. I think these 2 guys are the 2 guys that shouldn't have been let go today. But
What? Huh?
No, you know that. You already
Who should have been let go?
What are you talking about again? We had this argument before.
And
Who's the 2 guys? Who's the 2 guys you said should have been let go today?
It wasn't Sweat and Young. If anybody,
Who was it?
I would have never signed Payne. That was my thing. I was like, don't sign Payne because we're going to overpay for him. We're going to overpay. We're going to pay superstar money and get mediocre talent.
Payne's your second best defensive lineman. Well, Nan's your best. Nan's your best.
Payne played last year to get paid. Typical player, contract year, you get paid.
He's had to do paid had to get this year.
Where's the production now? Where's the production for Payne?
Isn't he like the second leading tackle on the team or third leading tackle? I know he's up in the top 4 for them. He's up there for their tackles.
I think he's leading more tackles for loss than anything else.
Right. There's anybody on there.
See,
but go ahead, KG. I'm sorry.
No. This is why I say, because I don't think we ever got to see this line at its full potential. And I said, the Midnight Rider said something a couple weeks ago. He said, you're trying to make your fearsome force. And I asked him, I said, if you look at Lamar Lundy, Merlin Olsen, Deacon Jones, and Merlin, Deacon Jones, who am I missing?
Rosie Grid.
If you look at them and you look at how many games they play as a unit, it's not them. That's why it's like, don't call them a fearsome force, because if that's the case, they're not going to play very many games together. And this 4 did not play very many games together. But they didn't have any impact because I don't think they were ever used right. You lined up almost the same way every time.
Every time. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You
could have put Payne and Allen on one side, Sweat and Young on one side. You could have rotated that line around in so many different combinations just to give a different look. And
let me answer that question from playing. You cannot put Chase Young inside because he's too small. He would get killed. He's way too small. Sweat, you would probably do a disservice to him to put him inside because it's his length and speed. Payne, you probably can move Payne around more because Payne's quicker than Allen. Allen has to stay in the middle. He can't do nothing else. So it was the guy who's number 95 for them. What's that guy's name? The guy that filled in for Chase Young. He actually played better than Chase Young last year, and Chase Young didn't pass 3 years.
He has 5 sacks.
Yeah, True Hill's nice. Yeah. He hustles. He hustles.
Has 5 sacks
already this year.
He does his job, and that's what Ron and Jack wanted Montez and Chase to do. Do your job. Stay in the position that we coach you in.
I disagree with that, Lee Ice. I think when it comes to Montez, you could get more value because a lot of teams wanted him. Now Chase, I wanted him out. I wanted him gone last year.
So let me do this. I think the best thing that happened to them yesterday was that report that Ben Standen dropped saying that they had a deal in place, or there was a deal that they were looking at where they could get a third and it would convert into a second round pick if he signed an extension.
With San Francisco.
I think that put pressure on everybody else, and then Chicago jumps in And I actually think Chicago's pick is more viable than we think because it's in that window.
Oh, Chicago, it's gonna be the high twos. It's gonna be a
Right.
high two.
And
It might be like the top 5 or 2.
But you know what happened in the high twos? That's when teams when teams miss out on somebody, they try to jump into that high two to pick somebody they missed out on. And that's a way for you to add more picks. So instead of having 5 picks in the first 2 days, you could possibly end up with 6 or 7 if you play this the right way.
Yep. I see the Sweat trade, but I didn't want him to go. Young, he should have been gone last year.
Well,
he never really impressed me.
I would have kept Young, let him play the season out. He was on to see where he was going to end up at. He was on pace. What he got, like, He would have had like double-digit sacks.
He showed in the last 2 games that his effort level was not there. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't. He's not good.
And the fact that
Sunday he probably knew he was about to get traded, so he definitely wasn't there Sunday.
Let me finish this, and I'm gonna give it right back to you. I think the issue that's what Young had is Young's personality, or whoever Young is, rubbed this room the wrong way, and that's what got him out of here for a ham sandwich. And there was an article that Standing wrote today, quote the source, that they felt the Young deal was addition by subtraction. They felt they got better just by getting rid of him.
Your favorite.
It showed you by the draft capital they got back for him. They gave him away for a bag of Doritos.
I just agree with Big Brian that got off. I just don't think they used him right, man. That man has too much damn talent. And if you got to move him around from spot to spot, now y'all watch stuff. Y'all watch more stuff in detail than I do. So I don't even know if teams still do this. Do they still stunt on defense? I remember back in the day, Dexter, Dave,
that's all they do.
Grant, and they stunt. Do y'all Chase and whoever next to him? Y'all see them running stunts? That's what I'm saying. I don't see them
because he's
doing
on. I just told you he's on Allen's side. He's too small. Out of the 40 he was too small. Chase Young is small, bro. He's actually an outside linebacker, but he's big. He's too slow to be a linebacker, so they had to put him on a defensive end.
I don't know about being small. He
is small for a defensive end. He ain't but 6'2", 6'3". He's small.
Oh no,
Sweat 6'5", 6'4".
His dad said he was 6'7".
That dude ain't no damn 6'7", man. That dude's small.
That's it, my son.
I didn't see them running stunts, trying to free him up better. He's going to be in the same spot every time. He's going to do the same, So
I'm going to say like this.
Who's the defensive line coach now? Ryan Kerrigan?
No, it's Jeff Zagonian.
I'm going to say it like this. If Chase Young does not get off in San Francisco, that should tell you everything. There's no excuse now. That defense, that front seven, he has no excuse. He should have 5 more sacks this year with the season out. 5 more. Solo.
He was like second or third in pressures in the whole NFL this year, and he missed a game. Okay, eventually he's going to get home.
Pressure. He got to get home for me. I don't care about the pressure.
Pressure matters.
Not to me though.
Like RG3's pressure, busts his pipes or whatever you used to say back then.
He does bust his pipe, but it don't make a difference.
Go ahead, KG.
I'm gonna say this. Now, this is a very unpopular opinion because it's revisionist history. In this scheme, the guy that they should have kept in the rotation, I know they wanted to go younger. This is unpopular. This is just my opinion. I felt that with Allen, Payne, and Sweat, the guy that worked a lot better with them was Matt Ioannidis.
Yes.
I knew you was going to say that.
He did.
And he didn't do nothing his last year, though. You know that.
And settle.
He did nothing. He did poo-poo his last year.
Hold on. Let me say this.
Ioannidis and Settle have been on milk cartons since they left.
Okay, Ioannidis in this system, in this scheme, when he played the middle, and he did it a lot against the Cowboys, he did a lot against a lot of teams. He wouldn't rush. He would stay in the center up, wait, and then right as the time the pocket was going to collapse, whatever the quarterback was, whoever the quarterback was, when he stepped up, he made his move. He either hurried the quarterback or he got the sack, he got the knockdown, he did something to impact the play. We don't have that anymore. We haven't had that since he's left. We can't go home, and Jack Del Rio does not send enough heat for me. I'm a proponent of blitzing. I love the blitz, but you can have weak corners and safeties if you got a good front seven, but we don't have a really solid front seven to blitz like that. But Jamin Davis should be hitting the hole, going out, sick him. That's what it should be sometimes. Sick him. When you
they don't use his speed the way they like. To me, they don't use the players the way they should. They don't take advantage of their skill set.
I think you're gonna see more stuff this week now that Sweat and especially Young is gone, because I think they can trust the end. If the end is supposed to be a certain place, they trust it more without Chase being involved.
Yep. I mean,
I can see that.
The defense, besides Chase Young's rookie year, was better without him. I mean, it might sound a little crazy, but they were.
But
the defense last year was 5th in the league.
3rd.
Yeah. And he ain't play.
That's because the Toohill and Smith Williams, they play what Jack coaches them to do. They don't freelance, they don't try to play hero ball, and that's what Jack and Ron want. But I still think Chase is just too talented to let go. I mean, you got to find a way. You got to find a way to get that talent out of him.
And then we're gonna wrap this up. Chase Young's gonna go out to San Francisco. It's gonna be 81 all over again. He's Fred Dean coming in from the Chargers. He don't have to have no work this week. I guarantee you, he has a multi-sack game coming up.
And you know what my worst nightmare is? I mean, of course, it's a dream. That we're going to be in position to make the playoffs. And guess who we play next to the last game of the year? San Francisco.
49ers here.
Yep. And Chase
Young. San Francisco, and you telling me Chase Young ain't going to be up for that damn game?
If he don't get hurt, that son bitch might get hurt again. No, this sorry ass. It's fragile ass and shit.
That's one side of the coin. It could be the other side of the coin. He could be Derek Thomas and have 7 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
That too. Well, he also could be what's his name? What's the dudes that had all the hype and get no sacks? What was his name?
Which one? Brian Bosworth?
Yeah, he could be Brian Bosworth too.
Hey, Brian Bosworth was all right. Everybody always say he
against the run.
Man, I know I'll be pissing the Midnight Rider off when I'll be talking about the pass, but could you imagine Richie Pettibone with that defensive line?
Ooh, he would do? Yes.
My goodness.
The with the nickel, the dime, the penny defense. Oh my goodness. This defense would be top 5 every year, if not top 3.
I'm gonna say this is gonna piss you off. If this team, I already said the season's over this year, but if this team has another bad season next year, mark my words, you're gonna start hearing something about we might as well kept Dan Snyder. Watch.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
I'll see that.
Because if Dan was here, this wouldn't have happened. That's what everybody's gonna say.
Oh,
they wouldn't have got traded.
You know, BC. If Magic is in the building, they're gonna win. They're gonna win.
No, they're not. The Lakers ain't winning. The Lakers ain't winning.
The Lakers, huh?
The Lakers ain't winning. The Lakers not winning.
Hold on.
He ain't in the building no more.
Nah, he not.
When he leave here, he go to LA. He over there. Don't believe that bullcrap. He over there.
Not in that building. He ain't no part of the Lakers no more.
He's an advisor.
He's at the Dodgers.
And okay, what did the Dodgers do this year?
And they went how many games did the Dodgers win?
What happened in the playoffs? What? Got
They won
swept.
100
That's
games.
that baseball shit,
They got
man.
swept. They got swept. 3-0.
Well,
3-0 on the ice.
I would like to win a lot of games like that, and losing the players, okay. At least we're progressing. When the last time we had a winning season here?
woo,
15.
16.
16 and 15, something like that.
V.
I know
Williams.
you're gonna get a kick out of this, BC. Man, Jay Gruden looking real good right now.
Hey,
Gruden, 8-8. I'll take that 8-8 all day, bro.
Let me ask y'all a question real quick. Why do they even go to him on local radio for him to talk about the Commanders? I can't stand when they be like, "Oh, Jay Gruden said this." I don't give a fuck what Jay Gruden got to say about the Commanders.
That's Ben's boy, the Rooster.
dog, he's on both channels. He's on with the Rooster at I think 2:30 on Mondays, and then he's on at 5 o'clock with Grant and Danny. The reason you go to him is because he's a resource. He knows football.
Yeah, he
Right.
yeah.
He's actually been like an advisor for the some NFL teams now. He said
He was helping Sean McVay last year. I don't know if he's still doing that now, but
I thought he don't help the Saints no more. You?
I think he did the Saints this offseason.
he's doing that. Remember what Scott McClure was doing when we let him go? He's doing that. He's consulting with I guess he charges a fee.
Of course.
That's $150,000. I think that's what Scott McClone was charging. He's charging $150,000 a day. But what Scott McClone gave you, you asked him about a certain amount of players, and the amount of time with that $150,000, he gave you 6 notebooks on each player that you got. So you had a binder of information on each player, so you can make an educated decision. And don't get me wrong, I love Jay Gruden more than anything, but it's not because of what he did here in Washington. It's because of what he did for my Orlando Predators in the Arena Football League is why I love him.
Oh, man. Come on now. Come on, man.
Barry Wagner, that's why I love him. It ain't got nothing to do with
The Tampa Bay Storm, baby. Take them out all the time. Come on now.
Orlando Predators, man. Back-to-back champion. Stop it.
Tampa Bay Storm, man. The battle on I-4.
Matt said, Ben Conti, sorry, was trick or treat tonight. Yeah, damn, it is Halloween, ain't it? Damn.
Mm-hmm.
The one night
You got old kids.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna test y'all knowledge. What famous trade went down on Halloween in the NFL?
Eric Dickerson.
Chase Young got traded today.
Yeah, Eric Dickinson got traded to the Colts, 1987, Halloween night.
Well, gentlemen, we come to the end of this show. This has been, I guess we can count this as the first crossover of many to come.
Yeah, we'll see y'all Saturday.
That's right.
We'll be up. Ben, you gonna be up for that on Saturday, 12 o'clock?
No, I'm talking about Saturday night, 12 o'clock and Saturday night on our show.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Y'all got to come on, man. Got to bless y'all on our show. Let the whole world know what's coming to Clear Production Sports.
Oh, speaking of Saturday, we got a pay-per-view coming up on Saturday for WWE. What Perry like to call Blood Money. Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Be Crown on Jewel. Afternoon. So
I think this will be the new era. LA Knight will be the champion. I think it's gonna happen. Because Roman Reigns is starting to get stale, man. Come on now. It's like, come on, dude. It's been 3.5 years and you still ain't came close to losing? Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Have you seen the
Are you saying then you saying the WWE's weak then if he can't be beaten?
No. Hold on. Before y'all do that, before y'all get in that deep in that conversation, have you seen the dude that does the Vines or the Reels where it's like Roman Reigns against Godzilla, and then all you hear is 1, 2, 3, and then you hear the Bloodline music play?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I heard it.
I just want to make sure.
You got to send that.
All right, I'll send it to you.
But think about this is nothing but 80s wrestling. This is golden era wrestling where you have one champion. The only thing that's different is no territory.
I don't like it no more because it's just the athletes are better and bigger and stronger now. I like the way the AEW does it because the champion can change hands anytime. I love that. Any championship changes hands. Ain't no way in the world nobody thought Ricky Starks and the Big John was gonna be the champion. I'll turn around like, yo, they champions? How? FTR lost? How? You know what I'm saying? And that's like who thought I didn't think the House of Black would ever lose the Trios Championship. Only team I thought I'd lose to would have been the Black Boot Combat Club would have been them, but they lost to the Acclaim. Are you serious? Come on, man. That's why AEW is hot.
The golden age of wrestling was when you had one champion, one reigning champion for a long time.
Wrestling is different now, the Ice. It's a lot different now. It's more violent.
They did it with Hogan. Look how long
it is. WWE champions. Let's think about it. Gunther's been champion for 400 days. Roman Reigns been champion for 1,127 days or something crazy like that.
Yep, 3.5 years.
The only titles that change hands are the tag titles.
Yep.
Any women's title can change hands any day of the week. Yep. Seth Rollins has been champ he hasn't even been on TV for 4 months.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous how WWE runs their championships.
You don't see what's happening. You don't see what's happening.
Yeah, I don't.
What's happening?
Okay. With Gunther, you everybody called the Honky Tonk Man probably, arguably, the greatest Intercontinental Champion ever, right?
You got some jokers I can name off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean,
better than him.
I got a couple too. But, as far as reigns go, his reign was the longest. And it's been the longest for what? Almost 30 years. Right. They had to take it down. Now they're trying to take Hogan down. They've taken down almost every one of Hogan's reigns with Roman Reigns. I think they're trying to get him past Hogan, but I don't know. They're not going to get him to Bruno Sammartino. That's unbreakable. You're not getting that far. But it's like they're trying to demolish the old records to build up new gods, basically.
Have fun with that.
But you're losing your ratings, man.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Because it's the same old.
Because like I asked you on Saturday when we were talking, I said, besides the bloodline, if you take out the bloodline out of WWE, what is it to watch?
If they
who do you want to watch? Who?
Rhea Ripley and them. Come on, help me out.
I only watch Rhea Ripley's the only one you want to watch. The rest of them jokers, sorry.
I mean, Rhea Ripley, Rhea Ripley is good to watch now. Hold on.
I don't want to watch Rhea Ripley. The rest of them jokers, sorry.
But
so if you take out that, what is it to watch about WWE? There's nothing to watch. It's not violent. It's not violent. They don't cuss. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of blood. There's no really crazy matches.
Oh. What's her name? Kaden and Nikita Lyons in NXT. They got a night rivalry.
NXT can't get over 500,000 views, bro. We average Clip Productions got more views than them on the night. Come on, man.
But they not getting the women in there. When the women during COVID, the women carried those shows, and when COVID, I ain't gonna say was over. COVID's still going on, but when everything got relaxed and they got out of the performance center, they stopped letting the women carry the shows, and everything went downhill after that. They had some of their highest rated Raws when the women were main eventing.
I'm gonna ask you this: is AEW better quality than WWE right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Because AEW is their time.
Is MJF a better champion than Roman Reigns?
Ooh.
Yes.
Right now, yes. Because MJF has fought everybody in line. He ain't does nobody. He ain't got nobody like him, so he can't get no help.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, see, this a whole nother conversation. We better get on up out of here, y'all. Because if we back all night.
Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate y'all. Look forward to y'all coming on over to Clear Production Sports in the coming weeks. All your fans need to know that. Keep telling them everybody. If you need me to come back on and make that announcement, whatever, let me know.
Oh, most definitely. We thank you and Lee Ice for coming on. Like I said, first of many crossovers. Man, this right here. If this is just a a peek into the future of what's to come. Sheesh. Man, we gonna carve out some time. We're gonna have to do a 4-hour show and have the whole crew on it. And then we got
since I am the CEO in Clip Productions and y'all part of the family now, I can make this announcement now. Y'all gonna be here on I wish y'all were with us on Super Bowl Saturday night. I want y'all to be part of the live broadcast Super Bowl Saturday night, and we can probably go unlimited amount of time y'all want. Maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Okay. That's what's up.
But the first hour, I did promise, and I totally ice. It's all y'all can interview me, so y'all can ask me any question about whatever's going on with the companies and the networks and all that, and I will openly answer them, as long as you don't get personal. If you get personal, I'm not going to answer. But anything outside of that, I'll answer. That night, then we can go in. We can go into other topics. We can talk about the Super Bowl. We can talk about wrestling, basketball being full tilt. We ain't touched on the NBA in tournament, which I think is stupid. They have it this early. I think they should have it after the Super Bowl. It would make more sense right before March Madness. But you're
missing the point. You missing the point, big guy. The point of the in-season tournament is, think about it. Everybody that watches the NBA says, I don't watch the NBA until after Christmas, right?
Right.
The whole point of this in-season tournament is they're trying to get eyes in that window before Christmas, and that's the
you ain't
whole
gonna
point.
get it. You ain't gonna get it. You right smack dead. You right smack dead in college football and the NFL right now, and the CFL playoffs. You can't get it now. You can't.
But that's why you pick Tuesday and Friday nights.
But that's why college football comes on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday now.
Right, but still, this is
it's not only the MAC. It's not only the MAC. It's the AAC, the ACC now is jumping in on Wednesday night. So football knows what it's doing. Like, oh no, you ain't getting all that.
Tuesday, Friday, and they just trying to steal some ratings because they know you don't watch before then. That's the only reason this is being done. There's it's that, and it's also to kind of kill the load management. Like, all right, we got you on Tuesday night and Friday night. You got to play your stars those nights. If somebody got to rest, they got to rest.
That counteract that, Ben. They've lost the 2 years to the NFL.
I understand that. I'm just telling you their thought process.
On Christmas Day. On Christmas Day. They lost 2 years in a row. And they're gonna lose this year because Black Friday, they go on football, they're doing football on Christmas and the day after Christmas. Come on, man. They're gonna lose again this year.
I can't argue with you on that. That's facts. I'm just saying this is their attempt to save basketball or keep basketball relevant before Christmas Day. That's all.
I always thought the NBA should start at Christmas anyway.
That's a whole nother conversation.
They should go. I think the NBA should start at Christmas and the season should end around 4th of July. That's always I've always thought it should have been like that.
All right, fellas.
Take us home, KG.
Well, we got to get on up out of here. I mean, this has been, oh my goodness. We always have shows like this where I just don't want to end them, but we got to go. I know the Midnight Rider got to get something to eat, and Thursday he got to come. We got to tell everybody about that roast, man.
Oh man, that's when it came out right. All right.
So, before we go, Hill, let you know we trying to get it together. We got a couple barbecue spots we're gonna hit, couple food places we're gonna hit. We're gonna do all this stuff. We're gonna get it done. But I just want to let you know when the call come, hey, we meeting up such and such place for some barbecue, man. We expect you to be out there. Come on, get some probably the Maryland's best barbecue you ever had down in Cobb Island, but that's different.
All right, I can come out there.
All right,
let me know.
All right. So
all right now,
for the boss BJ, Lee Ice, the big man Hill, the Midnight Ride, I'm the big guy KG, y'all. We don't do no overtime. We are out of here.